The Trumpster has just put the last shred of sanity in the legacy media straight into the dumpster. Folks, he's got a new hat, and they can't have that. Today, we'll show you how Disney, Axios, ABC, how they're responding to Orange Man Bad 2028.
Who's going to stop that process?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are up early with the news, and it is breaking indeed. As we get ready to dive in today, folks, all we ask is that you click the like button. There is no tuition, but a PhD level of education in the legacy media is on the way. This from Eric Trump, and this is what is doing it, folks. Take a look at this shirt. It says Trump 2028, rewrite the rules. It's coming from Eric Trump. And yes, if we click on this, it does indeed take us to the Trump store. And it is a shirt here, but that is not all the apparel that is available, folks. He also has a Trump 2028 cap, and that is driving them insane. How insane is this driving them? Well, let's get to it. Folks, we'll start with thenewrepublic.com. As we go into this, I just want to clarify that we are not here to tell you whether or not this is good or bad politically. We're not a political channel. I am not here to tell you constitutionally whether or not this will fly. I am not that kind of an expert. Maybe we'll have Ron Coleman on sometime. We can talk about it. My job here is to bring you the coverage of entertainment and news organizations and how they're handling this. And let's just say they're not handling it well. New Republic from Ellie Quinlan Hofteling. Let me say it again. That's a heck of a name. Ellie Quinlan Hofteling. Trump's new merch is a horrifying warning. Donald Trump is making it pretty clear he plans to stay in power forever. That's from newrepublic.com. Donald Trump is making it pretty clear he plans to stay in power forever. So there you go, folks. The New Republic has declared that Orange Man Bad is now going to be your eternal leader if he has his way. He's going to take the cryo, or he's going to take whatever the live forever fountain of youth. He's found it. It was in Florida. It was right by that alligator farm the entire time. However it is, he's going to be in power forever. It's the ultimate nightmare. Here's what they say. For anyone still doubting whether Donald Trump is contemplating a third term, consider that the president is currently selling Trump 2028 hats. The red hats were spotted on the online Trump store, retailing for $50 a pop. They take the bait every single time. And it's not just outlets like that, folks. It's also right here on ABC News. Owned by Disney, by the way. This is, it took 3 authors for them to write this. Andrea Pineda Salgado, Hannah Demisi, and Michelle Stoddart. All 3 of them had to write this. They had to hurry and scurry to get this down. Trump store offers Trump 2028 hat amid tease that the president could run again for office. The 22nd Amendment bars Trump from running for a third term. The merchandise website of the Trump Organization is now selling hats that say Trump 2028, which appears to be a spin on Donald Trump's signature red Make America Great Again hat, after the president teased running for a third term in office earlier this year. The hat, which appeared on the site on Thursday, is being sold for $50. Trump addressed speculation about running for president again, despite being barred from doing so by the Constitution's 22nd Amendment. So they're taking it full blown seriously. They're saying he included a scenario in which Vice President J.D. Vance would run at the top of the 2028 ticket, with Trump as his running mate, only for Trump to assume the Oval Office after the election. I don't know, folks. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's realistic. Seems to me the 22nd Amendment wouldn't stop that. Who knows? I don't know. Again, I'm not here to tell you, but I will tell you that this is something on the minds of Bob Iger's company, Disney. Disney owns ABC. Here's a report they just did recently on this very issue because, I don't know, they're deeply concerned about Donald Trump, who would be 82 at the time. They're very concerned he would serve as president in a third term from 82 years old to 86 years old. He's practically as long-lived at that point as the Queen. Here's what they had to say. Here's their legal expert. Again, ABC, owned by Disney. Here we go.
More on that. Let's bring in ABC contributor Kim Whaley, legal expert and professor at the University of Baltimore Law School. So, Kim, that was a lot of words that I just read, but break this down. Is there any wiggle room in here, in the language you see in the Constitution, for President Trump to seek a third term?
Well, Diane, there's always wiggle room for creative lawyers. And I think the argument is that the word elected to 2 terms maximum means literally elected, not served. So the argument he's saying is that he can serve more than 2 terms, so long as he's not elected at the top of the ticket. For example, if he is elected as a vice president, J.D. Vance as president could resign and he could move to the position of president. That's not being elected. The problem with that is the 12th Amendment says specifically that if someone's ineligible to be president, they cannot be a vice president. But at the end of the day, this doesn't really hinge on what the Constitution says. It's more on, if the Republican Party decides to put him on the ballot on a state-by-state basis, who's going to stop that process?
All right, folks, let's stop there because I enjoy it so much. I truly do. Disney, ABC News, in trying to figure out what's going to happen with Orange Man and whether or not he'll be there for all of eternity. That's what we're weighing in on. Remember, if we go back to the New Republic, he stayed in power forever. He's never leaving. Disney, ABC, they put this lady on. She's an expert, supposedly, and she basically says, she's brought on to talk about the constitutionality of it. And at the end of her diatribe, she says, but the Constitution doesn't matter because those rascally Republicans, they'll just do whatever they want, and who's going to stop them? They will contravene. They will go outside. They will circumvent the Constitution. It's like, why are you here then? Like if the question is answered with, it doesn't matter because these are such lawless rapscallions ransacking our nation, then why are you even there? That is Disney. That is how Disney is handling this. This is how ABC is handling it. Axios, well, they're doing well. Avery Lott says Trump store sells hats teasing third term in 2028. Says the big picture, President Trump said last month he's not joking about serving a third term, but the 22nd Amendment bars him from running again in 2028. Says the White House did not immediately respond to Axios' request for comment. Oh, no. Poor Axios. And it keeps going, folks. From New York Post by Diana Glebova. I don't know. Says Trump store puts 2028 hat on sale and third term tease rewrite the rules. Weeks after President Trump said he wanted to run for a third term, his namesake company is embracing the speculation by putting a red Trump 2028 hat on sale. The future looks bright. Rewrite the rules with the Trump 2028 high crown hat and initial description of the $50 item read on the website. The description was later changed to read, make a statement with this Made in America Trump 2028 hat, fully embroidered with a snap closure in the back. This will become your new go-to hat. The question now for all of you out there is this real? Like, is Trump really going to do it? I don't know. This could be the greatest trolling ever. And when I say that, listen, folks, the media, I'm going to tell you something that you did not expect to hear. The media right now should be high-fiving the Trumps. They should be giving El Trumpo praise in the streets. ABC News, CBS News, NBC, they should be throwing confetti in the air and saying, oh, thank you, Orange Man. Oh, thank you, Orange Man. Because they had nothing to talk about. There's so little going wrong right now. Yeah, the stock market's a little bit down. I'm not going to weigh in on that. It's a little bit down. If this tariff deal gets fixed, it'll go right back up again. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Jim Cramer knows more than I. Don't take financial advice from me. But the news, they don't have the sky is falling right now. And thank goodness that Orange Man came sailing in with his brand new apparel to give them something to talk about. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. The entire weekend is going to be filled with nonstop paranoia, nonstop conspiracies and theories of how it is that Orange Man is going to manage to stay in power in a Luciferian effort to have eternal control over the United States of America. Nay, I say, the world itself hangs in the balance. And this is going to be the entire weekend. This is going to be Meet the Press. This is going to be Good Morning America. This is going to be everything. Everything's going to be this. So did he troll the entire legacy media? Maybe. Are his sons trolling the legacy media? Perhaps. Is this all for a jolly good laugh? I would say so. Is there any truth to it? Well, folks, listen. President Trump will be 82 at that point. I don't think he wants to. I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll find some way. Maybe he will be so successful that the American people demand that the Constitution be changed at that very moment. I don't know. But I can tell you this. The legacy media have turned themselves into absolute cartoons. They're not real anymore. Like, they don't deal in reality. The chances of this happening are low, very low. The chances that Trump is using this as a way to poke them in the eye, very high. And they fall for it every single time. Every single time. Get ready. CNN and MSNBC, they're finally going to find a ratings bonanza. But I'll tell you this, the genius of it is that if MSNBC and CNN wanted to be rescued in the ratings by something like this, it could not come on a worse day. Because when did this happen? When did they put this apparel up on their website, on the store? On a Thursday. What does that mean? Well, folks, it means that Friday is the first day of the news cycle they can really dive into this, right? And what is Friday when it comes to the news cycle? Friday is not the day that people want to go home and watch the news. They want to go home and enjoy the weekend. So Thursday's about the best day you could put this kind of thing out there. Maybe Friday morning would be better, but Thursday's not bad. And then Saturday. Is anybody paying attention to the news on a Saturday? No. Heck no. They're not paying attention to the news on a Saturday. And that means they're going to go 3 days, 3 entire days before they get the Sunday morning shows, and they can be apoplectic about all of this and freak out. And get the constitutional experts up there and talk about how this is a unhinged attack on democracy. And they'll do that Sunday morning. But it'll be 3 days late. It'll be 3 days late. And in the meantime, it's so funny to me. Where's the woman who fell to her knees screaming to the sky back in 2016? She's probably at it again. So the legacy media falling for the trap yet again, but in honesty, all honesty, maybe it's not so much a trap as it is a last gasp of air for them to have something to drive those who care about this sort of thing into hysteria, so they'll watch every single minute of the coverage of it. Very interesting indeed. We'll pay attention to it, folks, but for right now, your Friday AM video of the day is the legacy media. They go after this stuff every single time. All right, folks, until the next time, click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and tell us, is he really going to run again? Or is he running circles around the legacy media and having them be, just treated like the Charlie Brown going to kick the football? Maybe Lucy is secretly a Donald Trump supporter. Maybe that's the whole thing. I don't know. That's the legacy media's Charlie Brown. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Schwartz, for giving us that analogy. It's a great illusion, great illustration for what's going on in the world. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Are you sick and tired of stuff being swept under the rug because you or the media are too lazy to actually deal with it? Or are things just building up around you so much that you can no longer ignore it? Also like the mainstream media? Well, I got the solution for you. I'm Wilton the Troll, and I want to tell you about this revolutionary new product called Jonas. That's right, no longer do you have to put up with stuff shoved under the rug. You can actually get rid of it and dispose of the problem in seconds by using Jonas. You can, in a matter of seconds, deal with the political and illogical buildup of the muck and grime around you effectively and efficiently with Jonas. You might think this is an ordinary vacuum, but you'd be wrong. You can clean up and remove from one end, but Jonas, he actually works from both ends. From the back end, Jonas can blow a whole bunch of hot air, and that's cool. Remember, folks, if you actually want to deal with the dirt and grime the mainstream media has been neglectful about, get Jonas, 'cause Jonas sucks.